everybody, Rebecca here for the September 2023 Budget With Me, budget setup, whatever you want to call it. This is the plan for my September budget. So it's going to be kind of a tricky month for me, to be honest. I am going to be in Sweden for about half of the month. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what spending is going to look like while I'm over there. Also, because I'm on vacation, I don't exactly know what my paychecks are going to be when I get paid in Sweden. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I am on YouTube showing my journey to reach financial independence and retire early. So the most important part of that, in my opinion, is to show you guys what I do with my money every month. So my goal is to always minimize expenses, maximize investing. That way I can get to financial independence faster. But normally I don't show my individual paychecks on the channel just for some privacy, but I will share my total income expected at the bottom. And obviously, for easy math this month, y'all could figure out what I'm expecting to bring in, but this is not usually how much I make normally, because if you're new to the channel, I work in healthcare. I'm an ultrasound technologist and I work third shift. So when I am at work, I get a third shift differential, but when I'm off work, i.e. taking vacation, I only get my base rate of pay. So I don't exactly know how much my paychecks are going to be in September. I am just estimating that they will be roughly around $2,000 each. But further complicating the situation, I do usually have a small amount that I carry over from month to month, and August is a 3 paycheck month for me. So that third paycheck in August, I will get on August 31st. So the last day of August. So technically all of that money that I get in that paycheck is going to roll over into September. But again, that last paycheck in August, I am leaving for Sweden towards the end of August. I fly out of here on August 26th. So that very last week in August is going to be, vacation hours for me. So I'm only going to get my base rate of pay, not my base rate plus my night shift differential and all of that. So I don't exactly know how much that last check is going to be. I'm just going to guess, again, about $2,000. And I normally don't roll over that much money from month to month, but I'm going to do it this time only because, yes, I am getting paid on the very last day of the month, but also I'm going to be traveling, so really some extra money to have available to spend if I want to in Sweden is not going to be a bad thing. So I'm going to estimate that I will roll over about $2,000 from August into September. So in total, that gives me a pretty decent amount to work with for September 2023. My Fidelity credit card, it's usually about $30 that I get just from using it for my month-to-month purchases that I make all the time, groceries, gas, etc. So I expect that it'll be about $30, and that should automatically get put into my Fidelity investing account whenever that gets paid out. AdSense is my YouTube income, and I got a YouTube paycheck in August, so I am not expecting one for September. So in total here, $6,030 that I have to work with for September. And just running through my usual expenses here, so my mortgage payment every month is $840. That will be spot on. Utilities have gone up recently. It's been very hot here in North Carolina where I live. My air conditioner has been running a lot. What I budgeted for the month of August for the utilities was not enough, so I bumped it up again to $190 here, and we'll see if that will cover things or not. Internet should be $65.25 like always. Gas for my car, I am budgeting $100 here just because I'm going to be gone for half the month, so I don't expect that I'll go over that. But when I come back home around the middle of September, Christopher, my husband, is flying back with me, so It's possible I might use more than $100 worth of gas for September if we end up driving around to do some things while he's here. But then again, if y'all caught my recent just sit down, have a cup of tea, chit chat video with me, then you know that I am actually considering taking a local travel contract job here, which means that I would be working 6 nights a week whenever I come back from Sweden. So if I take that job on, then no, we're not going to have a whole lot of time to go do things around here while he's here visiting, which I feel a little bit guilty about, but we talked about it, and you know, if I decide to take that travel job, he's 100% supportive of that. So yeah, that is still to be determined, but as of right now, I'm just going to plan on budgeting for $100 worth of gas. We'll see what that actually ends up being come the end of September. Food and household here. Y'all know that I typically budget $600 a month for food and household. This is everything that I buy at the grocery store whenever I do my once a week grocery shopping. And usually I do have trouble sticking to that $600 budget, and that has also held true for August. I know that I need to do a mid-month budget update for August, but honestly, I kind of doubt that I'm going to get around to it. I'll probably just end up making an August budget review video at some point here, and that'll be it. But suffice it to say, I went over the $600 in August, and I went over by a significant amount. But the reason for that was I was buying a lot of things for September in anticipation of being gone. My mom is going to come house sit for me and take care of my cat and dog while I'm over in Sweden. So I bought a lot of extra things for September while she's here just to make sure that I wouldn't run out. I bought more dog food, more cat litter. I bought another 5 pounds of coffee, the whole bean that I like, and I have enough coffee to get through August, but I knew that I would be running low, if not out, when I get back in September, so I went ahead and bought more coffee so I wouldn't be out when I came back. But just those few things there off the top of my head was well over $100. So if that's the case, then it should be easy for me to come back and spend less than $500 for food and household budget in September. So that's why I reduced it there. It may be a little bit of a challenge to actually stick to that, but yeah, we'll see. In theory, I should be able to do it. If I spent over $100 on things for September already, then I should be able to stay under that $500 mark for the month of September when I come back. Next thing here, ARDMS renewal. This is a yearly fee that I have to pay to be a member of the American Registry for Diagnostic Medical Sonographers. That is what that stands for there. They take $85 and we get to keep doing ultrasound. I'm not exactly sure what they do for us. But yeah, that's a topic for another video. Anyhow, next, personal spending here. I'm not going to budget anything for personal spending in September. This may be a mistake. Just knowing that Christopher is coming back with me, and that if I'm not working a second job, we may go and do things. I probably should throw a little bit of money in here for personal spending. Maybe I'll do like $100, but a lot is going to depend on whether or not I actually end up taking that travel job. So yeah, and I just don't know if I'm going to do that yet. The next line item here is spending that I am going to do while I'm in Sweden. I've budgeted $1,000 for that. I think that should be more than enough. It's probably more than what I need, considering that we really don't have a whole lot that we're planning to do this time around. The last time I went to Sweden was in January. That is when we got married, and we got married at the Ice Hotel up in the Arctic Circle in Sweden. It was absolutely a magical experience up there, you guys, but we did some spending, naturally, because it was our wedding and honeymoon. So this time around, I think we're going to keep it a little more low-key, but still, I know I'm going to be spending money when I'm over there, so I gave myself a good generous amount of the $1,000 to spend for the 3.5 weeks that I'm gone. And lastly here is Scott's Cheap Flights, and I am actually going to delete this row out of here. So Scott's Cheap Flights was a membership that I had to notify me when the plane ticket prices to Sweden dropped, so I could always plan my trips around when the prices were the cheapest. But I was noticing a pattern with Scott's Cheap Flights in that whenever they would send me a good deal for a plane ticket to Sweden, it was always a deal that I ended up booking through Google Flights. Now, for Google Flights, you can set up a notification system with them so that Google Flights will email you when prices drop and they're cheap. So I don't really need Scott's Cheap Flights to tell me when prices are good to Sweden when I can set that up for free with Google Flights. I feel like the Scott's Cheap Flights thing would be more worth it for somebody who doesn't have a particular destination in mind. You're just open to traveling anywhere and you would like to be notified when there are good deals out there for wherever the location happens to be. Because it would be impossible for one person to just be constantly looking at multiple different destinations and figuring out when is the best time to go, when are flights the cheapest, etc., etc. If you don't have a particular destination in mind, I feel like Scott's Cheap Flights is a great option. But if you're like me and there's just one place you really want to go when the plane ticket prices are good, you can tell Google Flights to notify you when the plane ticket prices drop. So yeah, I ended up canceling that membership. It should not renew, and that should save me about $200. So yeah, I left that line item in just so I could remember to talk about it, but it is not something that I'm going to have to pay going forward. So that brings the total for the bills and spending section of the budget up to just under $2,900 for the month. The only debt I have remaining that is not my mortgage is my car payment, and that is $555 every month. And this number out to the side is accurate. At the start of September, I will owe $21,379.52 left on my car. I'm not paying it off really aggressively right now just because the interest rate on it is so low. I bought it new in 2021 before interest rates started going up, so I have a fixed 1.98% interest rate on it right now. And yeah, as long as the stock market keeps struggling, I prefer to put my extra money towards investing versus paying off low interest debt. Same thing for the house up here. I forgot to mention, this number is accurate. This is the amount that I still owe on my house as of September 1st. I owe about $127.5 on this place. Last section here is investing and fire tracking portion of the budget. So essentially, anything that I don't spend, I like to throw to investing. But in this section, I do also keep track of how much is going from my employer-sponsored retirement account. I like to keep track of that as well. So for a total amount that goes to investing every month, this section I just share with the channel members only every month. So yeah, if you're a channel member, then you can check that section at the end of the month when we do the budget reviews, and we will go over all of the numbers that go to my different investing accounts that I have, and we'll see what the total is for the month. But as of right now, y'all can see, I have not planned on putting anything extra to investing for this month. I should have about $2,500 that I can throw to investing in September. I just haven't planned anything out right now as far as which accounts I'm going to add this money to. It should be about $2,500. Once you add in the employer-sponsored retirement account contributions plus my match and all of that, it'll be more than that. But yeah, since there are so many unknowns really for September, or I should say things that could vary a lot depending, then I felt like I'm not going to allocate this money just yet, even though I'm trying to set up my September budget here. Obviously, if I end up taking this travel job, then my income is going to be drastically higher than what I've accounted for as well, because I should get, my first 1 or 2 paychecks if I end up taking that second job, and I did not account for that at all. This is just what I know that I'm going to get in for September. And even then, it's a little bit questionable because it's going to be less than what I usually get since I'm on vacation half the month. So yeah, this one really was a tricky budget to try and set up, and that's why I haven't made any concrete plans as far as which accounts I'm going to throw extra money towards when it comes to investing, but it just is what it is. I do like to plan, I do like to think ahead and kind of get an idea of how things are going to go. But overall, I feel like your budgets should be somewhat flexible, really. And I mean, you should be able to make changes in the middle of the month if you need to. And yeah, I don't like a super rigid budget. I just like to get an idea of how things are going to go and then be flexible from there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. That should cover it for the September 2023 budget setup. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.